The story takes place in the year 2054, and the world is very different from the one we know. In Washington, D.C., crime is almost non-existent, especially violent crime, thanks to a groundbreaking system called PreCrime. This isn't your regular police unit. PreCrime has the ability to prevent murders before they happen. Imagine knowing when and where a murder is going to take place, and then stopping it just in time. It sounds almost magical, but the system isn't based on magic. Instead, it's powered by 3 people with extraordinary abilities known as precogs. These precogs, named Agatha, Arthur, and Dashiell, live in a futuristic tank-like setup where they float and constantly receive visions of the future. Specifically, they can see murders about to happen within the city. Their visions are then projected onto screens, and these projections are analyzed by the PreCrime team. The system is extremely efficient. In 6 years, no murders have occurred in Washington, D.C., making it the safest city in America. However, it doesn't take long to realize that the system, as perfect as it may seem, has some serious flaws. The head of this unit is John Anderton. He's a dedicated officer, and his belief in PreCrime is unshakable. But there's a deeply personal reason for this. Years ago, John's son was kidnapped from a public pool, and he was never found. That loss has haunted John ever since, and it's one of the driving factors behind his commitment to PreCrime. He believes that if the system had existed back when his son was taken, the kidnapping could have been prevented, and his son would still be with him. That's why John sees PreCrime as not just a professional duty but a personal mission. He's determined to make sure no other family goes through the heartbreak he did. We're quickly introduced to how the PreCrime system works through a fast-paced scene. A vision appears on the monitors, showing a murder about to take place. John and his team spring into action. They're given details about the time, location, and the people involved, but the information isn't always crystal clear. They must piece together clues from the precog's cryptic visions, using images and fragments to figure out exactly where and when the crime will happen. It's a race against the clock. In this case, the victim and the killer are revealed to be a man and woman in a heated argument. Tensions rise, and the woman is moments away from being killed. The PreCrime team bursts into the scene just in time. They break through the window, stop the murder, and arrest the would-be killer. The system has worked flawlessly yet again. PreCrime officers arrest the man and take him to a high-tech detention center where all would-be criminals are put into a coma-like state called haloing. In these chambers, the criminals aren't really living, but they aren't dead either. It's a controversial part of the system, but it keeps the public safe. From this moment on, we see that John is confident in the system, but soon, his faith in it is tested in a way he never expected. Enter Danny Whitwer, a federal agent who has been sent to investigate the PreCrime program. With the national government interested in expanding PreCrime to other cities, Whitwer has been tasked with reviewing how the system works. And while John is confident in the system, Whitwer has his doubts. He's suspicious of the idea that the future is already determined and that people are arrested for crimes they haven't even committed yet. Whitwer's questions plant a seed of doubt in the audience's mind. Could there be flaws in a system that seems so perfect? Could innocent people be arrested? Things take a dark turn when the system flags a new murder, one that will happen in 36 hours. But this time, it's John's name that comes up. The precogs predict that John Anderton will murder a man named Leo Crow, a name John doesn't even recognize. This prediction hits John like a ton of bricks. How could he, the very man in charge of preventing murders, be the one to commit one? He's stunned, but one thing is clear. If the system says he's going to kill someone, the PreCrime unit will be after him. John knows the system too well. He understands that there's no room for debate. He's now marked as a future murderer, and the PreCrime team will do everything they can to catch him before he has a chance to commit the crime. But John isn't about to sit back and wait to be arrested. He decides to run. His escape is where things get really intense. In this futuristic world, hiding isn't easy. The city is filled with high-tech surveillance systems that constantly scan people's retinas to identify them. Everywhere John goes, there are cameras, scanners, and drones ready to track him. The PreCrime unit is on his tail, led by Whitwer, who now sees John not just as the head of PreCrime but as a fugitive. John's escape is full of tense moments. He has to dodge surveillance systems and outsmart his former colleagues, who are using all the latest technology to hunt him down. There are spider-like drones that sweep through buildings, scanning people's eyes to identify them. To avoid detection, John goes to extreme lengths. He undergoes a painful black market eye surgery to replace his retinas, so the system can't identify him. It's an uncomfortable and graphic procedure, but it's his only shot at staying anonymous. With new eyes and a desperate plan, John is determined to figure out why the system predicted he would commit a murder. He doesn't believe he's capable of killing someone, especially not a stranger like Leo Crow. But time is running out. John needs answers, and fast. The only way to get those answers? By going directly to the source, the precogs themselves. John manages to break into the PreCrime facility, and this is where the movie takes a fascinating turn. He finds Agatha, the strongest of the three precogs. Unlike the other two, Agatha seems to be more than just a tool for predicting the future. She's aware, intelligent, and capable of interacting with John on a deeper level. Agatha reveals something that completely changes John's understanding of PreCrime. The future isn't as certain as it seems. Sometimes, the precogs' visions don't agree. There can be a minority report, a different vision that contradicts the majority. This means that the future might not be set in stone after all. John could have a chance to avoid the murder. Armed with this new knowledge, John and Agatha escape the facility together. Now, it's not just John on the run. He's trying to protect Agatha too, who holds the key to understanding how PreCrime works and how it might be flawed. As they move through the city, Agatha's visions become both a guide and a burden. She sees flashes of potential futures, some of them terrifying, but they aren't always clear. John must interpret these visions while avoiding capture from the PreCrime unit, which is still hot on his trail. One of the most intense scenes comes when John and Agatha are nearly caught at a crowded mall. Agatha, using her visions of the immediate future, helps John navigate the space without being detected. They narrowly avoid capture multiple times as Agatha's predictions guide them away from danger. It's a thrilling sequence, filled with suspense and close calls. As John digs deeper into the mystery, he uncovers a shocking truth about the system. PreCrime isn't as flawless as it appears. There's a darker side to it, a side that involves corruption, manipulation, and the suppression of the minority reports. It turns out that some of the people who were arrested for future murders might have been innocent. The system, while effective, is far from perfect. John's journey takes him to Leo Crow, the man he's supposed to kill. But when he confronts Crow, things take an unexpected turn. John is faced with an impossible choice, one that challenges everything he believes about himself, PreCrime, and free will. Can he change his future, or is he destined to fulfill the precog's prediction? John discovers that the real threat isn't the people PreCrime is arresting, but the system itself. PreCrime has been manipulated from the inside, and the consequences of this manipulation are far-reaching. John must make a decision that could not only change his life but also determine the future of the entire PreCrime program. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to check out our next video.